It's just by practicing this for 7 days, most people can escape from the problems of being treated badly in a relationship. So the person is walking on eggshells. Oh, I hope I'll be accepted today for everything I do. Then your relationship is in the toilet. So what are you manifesting? Just another ordinary, horrible marriage? People are doing some half-ass manifestation and then they suffer a lot and cry. There's no right or wrong way. There's only mutually agreed ways. Sexual compatibility is primary.
Namaste.
Because without
Welcome to the very first episode of our podcast, Life Changing Manifestation. In this episode, we are going to be learning about how to manifest harmony back into our relationship. And to help us with this, we have my Guru, Guru Pashupati, who is the Parampara Adhikari of 6 immortal schools of yoga at Trilok Akhada. Guruji is going to teach us what a good relationship should have, how to manifest respect in our relationship. And he's also going to teach a special kriya to improve our reputation.
Welcome to the first episode of Life Changing Manifestations. Today we have my Guru, Guru Pashupati, here with us, who's going to explain and teach us how to manifest harmony back into our relationships. Welcome, Guruji.
Thank you, Preeti. Thank you for doing this. A lot of people need it.
First, I'd like to understand the basics. In Siddha Yoga, what is considered a healthy and fulfilling relationship?
So, there are 3 types of orientations people have in relationships. Usually it's selfless or selfish. And the third one, which is called symbiotic, is the Siddha way. So in symbiosis, you can see in nature that when, a crocodile opens its mouth, a bird comes and eats all the meat scraps that are there for the crocodile. And the crocodile doesn't eat that bird, and the bird feels absolutely safe inside the crocodile's mouth. So that's how we need to feel, because anybody can be vicious, but you should have the security that the viciousness will not be focused on you. And that is called a proper relationship, isn't it? Because otherwise, people take their viciousness and they focus it on their partner. And all the frustrations that they have in life, they take out on their partner. That is not a good way of having a relationship. This is not the Siddha way. The Siddha way is that you cannot afford to be vicious. The crocodile cannot afford to be vicious to the bird. Because then who will eat meat scraps from its teeth? It will get rotting teeth. So that's why the crocodile knows, even a crocodile knows not to eat the bird. But people don't know that they shouldn't be abusive to their partner.
And what exactly is love in a committed relationship?
Love is a stupid word, and its origin comes from lobha. Lobha in Sanskrit means greed. And that's exactly what love is. It's wanting things more than you deserve. That's what love has become. So what we actually want is loving behavior. We want loving affection, affectionate behavior, attention, care, and we want people who get us and have our back. This is what we want. But instead we say we want love, which is like vague, right? It's like saying you have Parkinson's. If you have Parkinson's, what does it mean? Who's Parkinson's? I don't know. Why does it happen? But when I tell you have dehydration of your nerves and that's why you have Parkinson's, now that person can go and cure themselves, because if they hydrate themselves, the hand will stop shaking. It's not just drinking more water. You have to learn about hydration in the body and what the water battery does and all that stuff. You have to learn a little bit. But when I say that it's just dehydrated nerve endings, then people are like, oh, that's what it is? Yeah, that's why the signal isn't moving, because there's no electricity, there's no hydration there. Because water is your battery. So what do you have? Dehydration. It's so much easier to solve than Parkinson's. So when you say love, it's confusing. You don't know what the hell that is. But when you say you need to have my back and I need to have your back, that's different. That means I will support you. And I will support you not without benefit. I have my own benefit in supporting you. First of all, I get happiness when I support you. And then when we are both doing something together, that whatever we are building together starts to become better. It can be simple, like both of you are trying to make a home somewhere or whatever, but you need to support each other. And you need to learn how to win the support of other people, because love is not in isolation between two people. To support two lovers, it takes a whole village. This is what people don't understand. It takes, to support the love of two people, to support that care, communication, and romantic connection and that excitement, other people shouldn't interfere. But here, nobody's supporting your love. You get married and your parents are not supporting your love. Now it's some other agenda, like you should have kids. This is the agenda as soon as you get married. So nobody's supporting your love. They don't think that the love itself is worth anything. What comes out of it is that what everyone wants. They want the kids. So that's really not community support. You don't have support for your so-called love. So when you don't have support for your so-called love, it ends in tragedy only. Because you don't get nourishment from other people. You don't get other ideas outside of both of your ideas. You're not even having conversations with others, because if you have conversation, it's called greed, right? They want to own you. So if you go and talk to someone of the opposite sex, then they have a problem. They're like, oh, why are we laughing so much with that person? So you have all these issues coming up. So people they've used the word love and they practice lobha, greed. They want to own the person more than what they deserve. They want to own the person. You want someone's time, you better deserve it. That means the time with you is so pleasurable that they would cancel all other things to be with you. Is it that pleasurable? No, that's why you have to demand it. People get in relations and demand it. They don't realize that the time with them is not pleasurable, and that's why the person is not coming running all the time.
Yeah. So this is Bollywood and books and music's idea of love that people
In
have.
Bollywood, they show just two people. They say that, society bhad mein jaye. They don't care about society, right? So Bollywood is telling you that two people can make it alone, and a lot of people believe that. And they think alone, two people are of course not alone, but I'm saying just two people are going to make love work. How? There's a story of, in Panchatantra, I think there's a story, or Jataka tales, I don't know. There's this bird, which is eagle or something. And he finds this very attractive female eagle and he says, I want to marry you and have kids with you and, make eggs with you and whatever. Okay. So then the female eagle says, no. Says, why? Says, because you come alone. You don't have any friends. So then he says, what friends? How will I make friends? And then finally because he wants her so much, he goes and makes friends. He makes friends with an elephant, he makes friends with a rat, he makes friends with so many other animals. And says, now you have enough friends, now I'll marry you. So they got married, they had kids, and then one day, the female eagle got stuck in a net. And that time, he called the rat friend. But the rat friend started chewing it, and then the man who caught the eagle, he came to kill the rat. That time the elephant friend came. And then he lifted that man, put him to the side, allowed these two to escape, and then the elephant friend went off. Then he says, now I understand why we should have friends. Why we should have more than one people to support our so-called love. So that's something people don't know. Okay, so when they manifest also, when they wish and they ask God or they ask the universe or whatever, they ask for a partner. They're not thinking about all the other people that are needed for you both to be safe and supporting you and loving you. So, of course, the female eagle used to organize a lot of events where these people could come together and bond and have fun. And so that's why when she was caught, they said, no, we're going to save our friend because we have her back. Who has your back as a couple? Nobody. So you don't manifest that at all. You don't even think this is necessary. So people are doing some half-ass manifestation and then they suffer a lot and cry.
So what are some of the other misconceptions that people have about relationships that are causing all these problems?
They think that they have to get all their needs fulfilled from this one person. It's not possible. And they think also that they'll not be attracted to someone else, which is also not possible. That also happens. So how you manage that is the maturity of your relationship. I can't tell anybody how to manage that, but you can make your own arrangement. So a lot of people are honest and then they open the marriage and then they say, yeah, we'll have sex with other people. And then a lot of other people say that this is completely wrong, I should totally suppress this, and then they become unhappy. So this is going on, right? So how you deal with it? Do you want temporary peace or you want to understand what is it? So that's when this started happening to me, I started understanding, wow, I'm attracted to other people as well. I'm of course I'm attracted to my partner, but I'm not attracted only to her. When I started realizing this, I was honest about it, and that turned out into one big moral judgment, as if she is not attracted to anyone else. You know? So we shouldn't lie in relationships. We should have the truth. And then different challenges and problems come along the way. But the challenges that people have are very low quality. They're not high quality challenges. So when you solve high quality challenges, then you'll figure it out. There's no right or wrong way. There's only mutually agreed ways. Both of you should agree from your heart that this is right. If one person agrees and the other person doesn't agree, then that relationship is over already. So whatever challenges may come up, there'll be financial challenges also, which ruin relationships. And then basically people are not respecting each other. They said, this is not what I expected. This is not what I signed up for. If you don't know what you're signing up for, you're signing up for a cartoon fairy tale. When you're not in that mood of cartoon fairy tale, then, you can welcome all expression in the relationship, whatever that may be. So I personally think it's really wrong to lock your genitals up in one place. It doesn't work for me. But it apparently works for some people, then that's fine with them. So it depends. You need to find someone who's compatible with you. Compatibility, in all ways. Sexual compatibility is primary, because without that intimate physical bond, you don't exchange energy. So when you hold someone and when you're intimate with them, it is like sitting in the sun for 1 hour. You get that much infrared radiation, okay, from another human being. So it's very important to have an affectionate relationship where there's a lot of physical contact, because if that's not there, then the relationship goes into the toilet.
So a lot of people have difficulty expressing that. They say, that's not my love language. I don't express it this way.
So there's
So
a fool who wrote called Love Languages, and he wrote about 5 love languages. But those are not love languages. The language of love is having someone's back. That's the most important thing. If you really got someone's back, then that's love. So they should feel that you're there for them when they can express themselves, and whatever is happening inside them is acceptable. People need to feel accepted. And that's the most important thing. Disagreement is rejection. So instead of rejecting someone, you should learn to take that disagreement and come to agreement. And it should be a big priority to come to agreement. It has to be a biggest priority. But that's not a priority. People are okay to go to sleep without agreeing. And then they'll wake up the next morning again not agreeing. And you basically just killing the one thing, acceptance, which is there in a relationship. It's not there anymore. So now it's gone. So the person is walking on eggshells. Oh, I hope I'll be accepted today for everything I do. You can't go on rejecting people for their behavior. If it's bothering you, you have to express your vulnerability. Why it's bothering me? Why this is a problem? And people fight over stupid things like you left the wet towel on the bed. That turns into a fight. You never listen to me, you don't care. So what is that? It's not even a thing to fight about. If there's a wet towel on the bed, just take it off. But they can't do that. And then with constant gentle reminding people do things instead of nagging, shaming, putting people down. It's miserable. It's miserable to be in a relationship. That's why I'm not in a relationship. Right? And that's
then what
another thing,
happens?
that you need a relationship. Otherwise, you're anything in life, because you need a relationship. If you don't have that, then you're nobody. Who said? You can be perfectly happy without a relationship. Whether a man or a woman, people are like, you're a man, it's easy for you. It's easy for a woman also. You just need to train in the right skills. You need to be able to take care of yourself, protect yourself. In fact, most of the things people want in relationships, they can give to themselves. Only sex is the thing that they cannot give to themselves. Everything else they can give to themselves. That right now what they want in a relationship. Of course, someone having your back is not something you can give to yourself. But, these are the two things. Someone having your back and someone having sex with you is the only thing you need others for. And this should be the focus of the relationship, these two things. If they're not, then your relationship is in the toilet. It's lost its energy. It's going to die. So what are you manifesting? Just another ordinary, horrible marriage? Or do you want something extraordinary? Because if you want something extraordinary, then you have to be extraordinary. Okay? You have to have goals. Now, when I say to people that they have to have goals, they make doing goals, because they're all human doings. They're not human beings. They don't make goals of how they should be in order to achieve those things. Okay, you want the house and the island and the whatever. Okay, great. But then, are you that kind of person? Are you that kind of flamboyant, outrageous person who can make risky decisions and make sure that things go and control the whole thing? Can you do that? Are you that kind of person? Oh yeah, people fail because they're not that kind of person, but they want that kind of results. So you focus on your human being. Don't focus on your human doing. Don't worry about the number of rupees that you're going to manifest. You should know exactly what amount you're going to manifest, what car you're going to manifest, what color. Imagine that you're driving it. You don't need to do any of that stuff. You just need to be that fabulous person who's capable of being a millionaire. You need to have the thoughts of a millionaire. People underestimate millionaires. They think, the only difference between Elon Musk and me is that he's lucky. No, that's the key. That we have to change who we are. And it's the same in relationships. Instead of saying, I want to have a fabulous relationship, can you be lovable? Then you'll get love. Would you describe yourself as lovable? You yourself wouldn't be able to tolerate yourself. That's how most people are. So to change who you are, you have to change your innate behavior. And there's only one way to do that. Manifest it.
So for relationships, people say that, communication is the key. It's the most important thing for a relationship to flourish. Is that true?
No, communication doesn't matter if you're not the person that they respect. You can communicate very nicely, but if they don't respect you, then they're still not going to listen to you. You can be Shashi Tharoor and use the best words in the world, and still they will not like you. Because they inherently don't respect you. So then that's your reputation. People don't treat you better than your reputation. It'll fix your reputation if it's spoiled. There's a very simple method for that. You made a video on it, I've made a video on it. It's just fill a glass of water. I don't have a glass of water, but here I have this bottle. So imagine this is a glass of water. And you rotate it over your head 11 times anti-clockwise while you think of being in the Ganga, which is flowing from Rudra's hair. It's flowing. Okay? Reputation is called Pap and Punya. A good reputation is called Punya, and a bad reputation is called Pap. When you have a lot of Pap, people will treat you badly. And if that Pap is coming from a previous birth, it's called Mahapap. So people are going to treat you very badly, even if they don't know you, when you have Mahapap. So this is an experience of many people. So if you see that people are treating you badly, you should think that Rudra is standing there in the north, and all the Ganga flowing out of his jata is now flowing towards you, and it's become a big river. You're standing in that river, And each round you do like this, anti-clockwise, on top of your head like this. And you take it with your right hand and turn it from front to back. When you do this 11 times, each one is a dip. Imagine you're getting rid of the cold from the coming up and breathing. So the more you dream this, the more effective it is. If you just imagine, it's not effective, okay? So what's the difference between imagination and dream? If you imagine an elephant is running at you, you won't run. But if you dream an elephant is running at you, you'll run. So it has to be in that kind of dreamlike state. So when you're in that dreamlike state and then you do this 11 times, and then you say the mantra, Mahapapam Rudram Samarpanam. Mahapapam Rudram Samarpanam. Rudra is Shiva. And Samarpanam means I'm giving all these Mahapap to the Ganga, which is flowing from Shiva's hair. If you don't know the Sanskrit, you can just say it in English. I have given all my Mahapap to Rudra. That's also fine. You just say that, and then you throw that water in the sink and wash that glass, wash any splashes that have come on your hand, and you're done. You do this every day. Then people will start treating you better. You'll build your reputation. When Mahapap becomes Punya, then you will have good reputation. It's just by practicing this for 7 days, most people can escape from the problems of being treated badly in a relationship.
And a lot of times people say that, I'm trying to communicate what I want in this relationship, but my partner is dismissive. So how can they
reputation, right? You're being treated like a reputation. It's the same thing. Your reputation with your partner is not good. You need to be concerned about it. And you need to do this solution that I've given you. And don't go to a psychologist now, because they have no idea what they're doing.
It's also the solution for when partners are emotionally unavailable.
Yeah, why are they treating you like that? Because you don't have the reputation of someone who can help them with their emotions. That's why they're emotionally unavailable to you. You have a reputation of spitting on their emotions and turning it into something of no consequence. You haven't respected their emotions in the past. That's why they're emotionally unavailable right now. A lot of people, after they get married, they face this, when ladies especially. They get married, they go to a house, new culture, they can't adjust over there. And they're not respecting the emotions of the man, that he cares about his parents and his mother. And so then they dismiss his emotions first. And then when he dismisses their emotion, they start crying, like he's emotionally unavailable. But you were emotionally unavailable first. It's a reputation. If it didn't happen like that, then it's from the past birth. But whatever it is, this Kriya will fix it. You don't have to do anything more than that.
And sometimes there's a mismatch of, like, one person is very expressive and the other person is not very comfortable expressing themselves.
Why do you marry such people? If you're an introvert, marry an introvert.
Arranged
Why should an
marriages.
extrovert go and marry an introvert? Arranged marriages, that is something that should never be done. Because have you seen monkeys doing arranged marriages, lions doing arranged marriages, hippos doing arranged marriages? They know whom to mate with and how much to mate with and how much to talk with them and how much to be there. They don't have these problems. They have a system. Elephants, female elephants will look after the baby elephants. All the friends of the female elephant will look after the baby elephant. She doesn't have to do it alone. If she doesn't have milk, some other elephant who's got extra milk will feed that elephant. Why are humans not like this? We don't get together and say, let's support the couple. And in animals, are very clear, it's only about sex. But humans are seen to make this more about something else. It's about sex and having your back. I saw a video where a lioness was being attacked and a lion came out of somewhere and whacked the hyenas that were attacking her. And then he took her to safety. That's having your back. Even animals have each other's back. We're worse than animals, I'm telling you. We don't have each other's back and we don't have sex.
There's also this complaint that a lot of people have that, my partner's always saying no to whatever I want, and he or she wants to prioritize their needs.
Comes with the same thing, bad reputation. Because if he doesn't trust you, if he says yes to that, he doesn't trust what you do. So your reputation is in the gutter. Do this Kriya a lot.
How can one improve their ability to listen to what their partners are saying without, having their own preconceived notions about, oh,
You're
she
not
is like,
listening because he has a bad reputation with you. He needs to do the map also. So teach him also. It's all about reputation. You're not listening because you think everything that comes out of his mouth is garbage, so you don't listen. You listen only to some things. Because that's a reputation that's been built, either in this birth or in past birth. But whatever it is, the solution is not to go and say, okay, now this is how can we improve it. You can't talk about it. It's unconscious. So you do this kriya and even the unconscious thing will go. I mean, how does it work? Like, who cares? It works with the grace of Shiva. If you want to live like an atheist, you don't have this technique in your arsenal. Good luck. Good luck fixing your reputation without this technique.
what are some of the ways to resolve conflicts or disagreements when they happen?
That doesn't change. You have to be completely honest and express all your vulnerabilities and the context, why you have this vulnerability. Needs to be clearly expressed. And the other person has to listen. And then you can decide whether you want to be together or not. Every conflict is a threat to the relationship. Because if the conflict is allowed to grow, it will break the relationship. So then you have to decide, do we want to break the relationship or do we want to keep the relationship? This is the goal. If both of you agree that, yeah, we have to keep this relationship, then you'll come to agreement very quickly because not agreeing will break the relationship. What's at stake? And you see what's at stake, then you'll do. Have you seen those ladies go and lift a car because their baby got stuck under it? You've heard stories, right? How you try to take a monkey baby in your hands and see what happens in the next 30 seconds. Take a monkey baby in your arms and see what happens next 30 seconds. The mother who's smaller than you will come, slap you, take a monkey baby back safely, put it on her chest and she'll go away. You'll get a monkey slap. Why is that? So that's what's at stake. My child is being taken by someone else. I don't want this. It's a sorrow for me to see my child die. So boom, she comes, she does what she has to do and she goes. So if you don't have strong emotional feelings about your relationship, it'll always be in trouble. But if you really strongly emotionally feel that this is the most important thing that's helping me in my life, then it'll work. But I couldn't find any relationship more important than the work I do. So that's why I don't have a relationship. I feel the work I do is so important as compared to any of these things. I don't have time to lose energy in disagreements. So no relationship, no problem. That's a good solution too.
A lot of times people, mostly women, they say that, I want to save this relationship, so let me just not express my point of view and I'll just bear it and suffer.
Even if a piece of meat goes bad, you want to throw it. You don't want to save it. If it's gone bad and it's rotting, then you throw it. What else to do? Let's try again. I had 74 relationships because I thought maybe I learned something in this one. So let's learn. And finally, after 74th one, this was in 2020. It's been 4 years. That was my 74th relationship. And I said, I'm done with relationships. I don't really need this in my life. Why the hell am I doing it? I just wanted to learn. So now I'm an expert. I know all about it. But I'm happier without it. So much happier. I can do what I want. If I want to go to the forest now, I can. I don't have to ask anyone. I just have to tell my students here, I'm going to the forest and that's it. Otherwise, everything is linked together. Your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner, everything. You just can't have a life outside of this relationship. What shall we speak eat together? This is romance. It's miserable.
So for those couples who've had a bad relationship and now they're waking up to the fact that they have to come to an agreement and have common goals, how can they go about discussing difficult topics that are, trigger points from the past?
First, not common goals. The first goal is to be a person who's compatible with the other one and who's also fabulous and that you both can respect. To be people that you both can respect is the first goal. And those respectful people, look, result is equal to character into situation. Remember this formula. Okay? So the only thing you can change here is the character, not the situation. Situation is not changeable. The environment is not changeable. But if you have a character, then the character can change the environment also and then change the result. So you have to be somebody that you can totally respect. That person has to be somebody who you can totally respect. And then together you'll do fabulous things no matter what the situation. You'll be able to deal with each situation in a fabulous way instead of a Bollywood way. But most people, their only situation is, I don't like your parents. You don't even have any, you just need to have character for that. And you say, yeah, I need a bigger society that supports my relationship than my parents. And you have to be like that eagle who went and made friends with the rat and the elephant. When you are both people that you can respect, then your dreams will align. Automatically. You don't have to plan a dream. A beggar cannot dream the dream of a king. He just cannot. Okay, so your dreams are limited by who you are. Beggar's dream will be to make middle class. Whereas king's dream is to keep the whole country safe. There's big difference. And Sri Rama's dream and your dream are totally different. People who got married will only dream of keeping their wife and not having conflicts. People dream of having a day where there's no conflict. This is their dream. And then they want their whole life to be like that. But how can you not have conflicts? Because you don't respect the person inherently. It's the truth. If you go and ask a couple, do you really respect your husband and wife? And do you really respect your wife? No. Yeah, I do, but when I was married, my ex-wife said that in an interview. She said, yeah, it's great, except that he snores, except that this, except that. She had a list to tell the newspaper. And people were like, oh, wow, how lovely. We are also like that. You know? Sorry. What is this? That means I found out she has inherently no respect for me from that day. From that day, the relationship was dead. Because I didn't see any extra respect anywhere else. I saw in many ways in which I've been not treated with respect. And I didn't know how to remove Mahapap then. Well, you guys are lucky you know, so remove it.
This is the end of part 1 of life-changing manifestations for relationships. Stay tuned for part 2, where Guruji is going to go in depth about relationships.